Hello, how's it going? I'm Levi Gann with Swift Hypnosis, and today I'm going to talk to you about a technique that sometimes I like to use in some of my sessions. It's a fun technique. It's called the Swan. It was created by Mr. Bob Burns out of Scotland, and all it is you prop your hand up like this, so it kind of looks like a swan. And I simply begin to talk to it during the session. Some people think it's ideomotor movement, and some people will tell you that it's something a little bit more. It all depends on your belief, and like Bob Burns says, real or imagined. But the idea behind it is I would sit down and I'd tell you I'm going to begin to talk to a part that's willing to help during this session, whether this is a part of the unconscious mind or something more. Is there a part that can begin to take control of this hand and just to give us a sign and to show some movement? And one of three things is going to happen with this. The first thing that's potentially going to happen, which is what we want, is you will get a honest unconscious movement, and it'll look very, very jerky and uncontrolled, waxy looking, and that's what you want, and that shows that something's responding. And you can even tell it from there, once you're engaged, to have it start rotating and it'll move on its own. I'm doing this right now, but it would kind of look very jerky, like so. And then you could have it go back, and then you'd say something along the lines of, if I was to ask you a question, what would the sign for yes be? And then you watch very closely in the hand, and you'll see something bounce, something twitch, and you know that that's your yes signal, and you go for no, and you keep figuring out. All I usually do is a yes and a no signal. And that kind of shows you, and then you can start working and asking it questions about the person. If you wanted to dig more into the woo-woo side of it, you could get figuring out if it's a male or female energy, if it's something that's attached to that person's life, how long it's been there, etc., etc. Or you can go straight for just clinical, what can you do, this part that's working, how can you improve this person's life today? The second thing that might happen, which is also fine, it's just all feedback, but no movement would happen, but the person would tell you that they feel energy and pressure all in the hand, but you're not getting any of the movements. It's just all feeling, which is fine. That's just kind of lets you know that something's happening, but not quite what you're after. And you could keep pressing it and see if you couldn't get those responses, but after a while, some people just don't have what you're looking for as far as the actual movements and stuff. And then the third thing, which is another thing that's fine, it's all feedback, but nothing happens, and there's no feeling. And they're not going to experience, or they haven't experienced anything. It just sits there, which is fine. Then you just move on to different techniques and tactics. And everyone experiences things differently in hypnosis. And if this is hypnosis, that's kind of up in the air. Some people think it is, some people think it isn't. I would say that it is a little of both. In my opinion, there's a little hypnosis going on. And I do believe that there's a little woo-woo spiritual side to it as well. And in this aspect of it, June 21st, which is a Monday, I'm going to be doing a special demonstration of this with a friend of mine. It's Maggie, who I worked with last week. At this point, you can go back and watch the video. In fact, if YouTube works, I'll try and put the little tag right here watch this video. I don't know if this works, but if it did, click on that. If it didn't work, we can all have a good laugh at how foolish I am not knowing how to use YouTube. And I will put the link in the description as well. So it's called Emotional Detox Session with Maggie. But she's going to be helping me out. June 21st, we're going to do a swan demonstration. And I'm going to start simply by talking with her hand and getting the movements. And then what we're going to do is put a blindfold on. And we'll see if we still get movements with the sensor deprivations a little bit. And then we're going to put headphones on, noise canceling headphones. So she'll be completely blocked out from anything. And we're going to see if we can't still elicit some sort of a movement and responses to the questions that we're asking. So it's going to be a little bit of an experiment. Something might happen, something might not. This could be the most amazing experiment I've ever done, or it might fail real quick. But June 21st, this month, coming up, it is the summer solstice, so the veil is supposedly thinner, so we should have easier contact if that's anything that's true. It's all fun and games, and we're going to see what happens. So if you're interested in watching that, subscribe to this channel so you can see when it's happening. Give this video a like. And thank you guys for following along. Appreciate all of you for joining in and giving me your support. This channel is going to start doing better and better and gaining momentum. I know it. So hang in. June 21st, big things are happening. Fun experiment. The Swan, created by Bob Burns. Great guy. Look him up and see some of the wild stuff that he's done. He's talking to World War II soldiers. He's actually having people communicate with voice through the swan. Really transformational, great stuff. And I highly recommend you all check him out. Bob Burns. Subscribe, like, and I will see you guys in about a week with my next video. Take care.